Okay, so some more bad news this time for the Washington football team. Alex Smith has been ruled out, and Dwayne Haskins will reclaim his spot as starter. Alex Smith is out due to a calf injury. He exited late in the second quarter in Washington's win against the San Francisco 49ers. Smith missed practice this whole week, and Haskins will start again after being benched in week 4 of this season. This was written by Kevin Patra. So Nate, I'll start with you. What do you think about Alex Smith being out and Dwayne Haskins starting?
Well, obviously, of course, like we always do with everybody, we wish Alex Smith the best of luck. Hopefully he recovers and speed recovery. Same thing with Dwayne Haskins. Best of luck. But I really think this is a big hit for the Washington football team. I really do. And you know, we always thought Dwayne Haskins was going to be a good quarterback, and I thought so too. I thought the dude had some promise, but we got to be honest with each other, Mario. This dude's not good at this NFL thing. He really isn't. And I mean, has he learned some things from being benched? Probably. Maybe he could show off. I mean, he has a very elite. He has a elite defense behind him to back him up. So all he's got to do is survive. And like we always say, survive. It's all about survival. Next man up, because you're facing the Seattle Seahawks, who don't have a good defense within themselves. They have like one of the worst defenses in the league, and the football team is the exact opposite. They have one of the best defenses in the league. Offense is a different story. It's the other way around. Um, I don't know how this is going to go for the football team. I really think this is a downgrade, but maybe I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Dwayne Haskins will learn from why he was benched. Maybe he learned a little from Alex Smith, because Alex Smith is a veteran. He's been in the league for a while now. So he does. He would know a thing or two. So maybe he learned something from him. But as it stands right now, I really do think this is a big hit for the football team.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, it's not the same situation as the Raiders where Marcus Mariota showed some flashes of what he can do these next 2 weeks. I'm not gonna go that extreme and say Dwayne Haskins is not good at playing football. That's a little harsh. What I will say is he hasn't stepped into what we thought he could.
That's what I mean when I say that.
Right, right. Yeah, I just want to clear that up. He hasn't lived up to the expectations that we thought he could have lived up for, considering the fact that he did throw 50 TDs in a season at Ohio State. But I always looked at it and I was like, this dude threw 50 TDs in one season for Ohio State. And for some reason, it didn't make the playoffs. And Urban Meyer's last year, they didn't make the playoffs. Like, I'm fond of Urban Meyer. I love Urban Meyer. I think he's one of the best college head coaches of all time. I put him right there in that conversation with Nick Saban and all them. But I thought it was just weird, bro, that you throw 50 TDs for Ohio State and you don't make the playoffs for Ohio State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Ohio State usually makes the playoffs with like they did it with JT Barrett 3 times. Like, I mean, it's so like I always was hesitant about Dwayne Haskins. I always knew he was a talented quarterback, but I was always hesitant about Dwayne Haskins. But I mean, this is up to him too. Like, these, you cannot take these opportunities lightly. If you're Dwayne Haskins, you can't. I don't care who you're playing now. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? You could play the 85 Bears defense. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You have to take advantage of these opportunities because these opportunities only come once in the NFL. You know what I'm
right.
saying? You have an opportunity to secure a starting spot for the Washington football team, or else if you don't, by the time Alex Smith gets healthy, he will start. It's just as simple as that. Either that, or they will move on from all of you and draft a new quarterback. But honestly, dude, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for the Washington football team. He has not proved in 2 years. He hasn't. He's had some decent games, but he has not had that great game where I'm like, oh my god, Dwayne Haskins had a really great game. It's always been decent games, 200 yards and a TD. Like, you got to do more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you have to do more. Same thing with, like, even Alex Smith this year. I don't think he's done a lot for me to be like, wow, he had an excellent game. He's had decent games as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy that Alex Smith is back. He's recovering from an injury. I get all that. I absolutely agree. But these quarterbacks for Washington has not proved to me that one of them could be a franchise quarterback.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? With that being said, Dwayne, this is important for Dwayne Haskins right here. These next 2 weeks are important. You have a chance to make the playoffs in the NFC East. You have a chance, even if you have a chance. I hate to say it, but like they're kind of climbing up to be that like wow, they're climbing up to be a wild card. See, like because we talked about how the NFC East is kind of a pathetic division, which it is, which it is. I'm not saying it's
That is.
not. But now you look at the Giants and you look at the football team. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these teams goes above 500. I'm not predicting that they will, but I won't be surprised if they do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
the
right.
Giants and the Washington football team are really stepping up. And I do believe that one of those two teams will make the playoffs, whether it's Washington or Giants. But this is up to Dwayne Haskins. It is up to him to prove why he is an elite, why he not an elite quarterback, I should say, but why he has a potential to be a franchise quarterback for the football team. Because let me tell you something, dude. I'm telling you right now, if Washington doesn't get if Washington doesn't make the playoffs, bro, they're probably looking at a good like top 15 seed. So now I'm thinking about who's in this draft. You know, you got I'm trying to think. Hang on a second. You got Trevor, Justin Fields. They're probably gonna go number one and number two. Then you have Trey Lance. Trey Lance might go in the top 10. Zach Wilson probably go in the top 10. But then who's next? Mac Jones, Kyle Trask. Those guys did really good in college. Mac Jones is leading a number one Alabama team probably to the NCAA playoffs, and Kyle Trask is having historic numbers that match Joe Burrow and have surpassed Tim Tebow. So I mean, and don't get me wrong, NFL is a different animal than college, but Dwayne Haskins, these next two games are important for his career in Washington because if he cannot prove why he should be the starter, I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a quarterback or they move on from Dwayne Haskins. With that being said, though, um, good luck to Alex Smith on recovering from his injury. Good luck to Dwayne Haskins. I do wish him the best of luck, and good luck to the Washington football team. We'll see where this goes.